All right, so those debates were awful, and Jake Tapper, for once in his life, said something I agreed with when he said that was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire inside a train wreck. And judging by the fact that Joe Jorgensen's site has been down for almost 24 hours now and their fundraising spiked up significantly, I think there's a good chunk of other people that agree. Last night was a very clear display of the two terrible choices you have. Trump, first off, good lord, I could hardly take him steamrolling over Joe Biden or Wallace speaking anymore. I know Biden isn't going to say anything worthwhile, but Trump came off as a complete ass when he would not stop interrupting, or when Biden was specifically asked a question, and no less than 3 seconds into his response, Trump is trying to talk over him or get his little quips in there. Extremely frustrating, and it was the behavior you would expect from a 5-year-old, honestly. And that might even be insulting to 5-year-olds. I've seen 5-year-olds behave far better than that. Meanwhile, Biden showed himself for what he is, which is a tired, old, hollow, vapid, empty shell of a politician. He brought precisely nothing new to the table. It was the same old tired rhetoric we've heard from him and his colleagues since as long as I can remember. He's still trying to defend the Affordable Care Act, which is laughable. I think enough people saw their premiums increase significantly that people are over it. It was an abject failure. His only recourse is to hope people forget he had anything to do with it. And I also laughed when Joe Biden said, Antifa is just an idea. That is a comment that I would expect to hear from someone who doesn't follow any news at all or consumes perhaps a couple headlines on Facebook and that's it. That is what Joe Biden came across as. Because calling Antifa just an idea is weird. This idea seems to have self-proclaimed members that meet and organize and have chants and commit violent, destructive acts. They have social media groups they convene to go over tactics and tips on how to cause damage or protect themselves. They have literature. They have spokespeople. So it's not just an idea. It is a movement, and an extremely dangerous and stupid movement at that, lacking any and all ability to reason or use logic. So, as usual, Joe Biden just came across as some guy who is out to lunch and doesn't know what's going on. I will say, though, compared to how well I thought Joe Biden was going to do, he did exceed my expectations, because my expectations were extremely low. He had a few goof-ups here and there, but nothing quite as substantial as many of the other gaffes he's known for, and certainly not anything as substantial as I thought he was going to do. He was actually fairly cogent and had constructed sentences that he spoke. So I was impressed to some degree by his performance. And Trump was obviously just a complete ass. However, he did show that he is far quicker on his feet than Joe Biden. He is significantly more adept at thinking quickly, reacting, and giving out an articulated response in a short period of time. Joe Biden simply cannot hang with that. The biggest hope Joe Biden has is that Trump rubs people the wrong way, which he did do last night. So that's Joe Biden's only hope. But what is our hope? Because I think a lot of people are asking that question right now. Well, it certainly wasn't either one of those complete buffoons. I can't imagine the debate last night didn't leave some people scratching their head wondering if there was a better option. I think it did, because as I said, Joe Jorgensen, someone who I find to be a bit lackluster, or I at least would not run a campaign the same way she has. I would run one far differently than the way she's ran hers. But her site has been crashed since last night. I tried going on about an hour ago and it was still down, and she did put out a statement saying that the website traffic and their contributions had a significant increase. So is she going to win? Highly unlikely, but it's all about momentum. It isn't even really about her anyway. It's just about getting people fed up enough so they start wondering about alternatives to the two terrible choices that have been shoved down their throats for their entire lives. And it's good to see that might be happening at a quicker pace than maybe it has in the past. But anyway, that's all for right now. Like and subscribe, and take it easy.